Dejanay Carrington and Nalyssa Smith doing a hee-hee and a ha-ha and a tee-ha right after the game, hugging on each other and everything. I don't get it. I mean, this feels like a conflict of interest and something very interesting has happened. Now you're seeing this post. This is 3 different videos right here, and I'm not going to show them, but I will tell you what they are. Nalyssa Smith only played 9 minutes in Game 1. Nalyssa Smith just went from being the Indiana Fever's golden girl to their biggest problem in less than 2 years. 3 separate times, she made 0 contact on set screens. First 2 she was supposed to screen Dejanay Carrington, and completely missed. Here is some flowers that I guess Nalyssa Smith got Dejanay Carrington on the 25th, whiffed, swung, and missed. Needs to be more physical on Wednesday. Well, she barely played on Wednesday. How does that even happen? I'm talking about a complete 180 folks. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now back to the video. Get this. Her points dropped from 15.5 to 10.6 per game. That's a huge dip. But you know what's crazier? That's not even the main reason she got fired. There's so much more to this story, and it's going to blow your mind. I mean, this is wild, folks. You're playing in a playoff series in professional sports against the team, but this kind of situation is going on. Dejanay Carrington and Nalyssa Smith are dating. Nalyssa Smith and Caitlin Clark are teammates. If Dejanay and Clark get into it, who is Nalyssa defending? Her teammate or her girlfriend? And we're supposed to believe that trade secrets weren't swapped here? For real? That's hard to believe. That's hard to swallow, right? You know what's wild? Nalyssa Smith went from being the Fever's golden girl to their biggest problem in less than 2 years. It's like watching a star player implode right before our eyes. 1 minute she's the future of the franchise, the next she's causing drama left and right. Because at the end of the day, those two go home to each other. Raggedy ass league clown. I mean, seriously, this is wild. So Nalyssa Smith, I guess, may want off this team, and the Fever probably want her off this team. Alright, where the Indiana Fever can see, and I think under contract, 10 toes down for you, free her. Let's talk about her stats for a second. Smith's points dropped from 15.5 to 10.6 per game. That's a huge fall. We're talking about a player who is supposed to be the cornerstone of the team, and suddenly, she can't even hit her average. But you know what's crazier? That scoring slump wasn't even the main issue. Imagine this. Smith's on the bench laughing it up with an opponent who just poked Caitlin Clark in the eye. Not cool, right? Clark's in pain, the team's in shock, and there's Smith acting like it's no big deal. That incident blew up on social media faster than you can say unsportsmanlike conduct. Fans were furious, calling for Smith's head on a platter, but it didn't stop there. Smith starts posting these cryptic messages online, like she's some kind of basketball prophet. Then she goes and removes the Fever from her bio. It's total drama city. So the Clark Report posted this just a little while ago. Nalyssa Smith has removed the Fever tag from her bio. She has a year left on her contract, which means she'll likely request a trade. And this is X. Nothing on there about the Indiana Fever and Nalyssa Smith. So you gotta wonder at this point, is she out unless she's picked up by the Valkyrie in the expansion draft? So I guess this is probably Instagram right here, but nothing on there about the Indiana Fever. The team's trying to focus on winning games, and their former star player is out here stirring up trouble on the internet. So, what did Nalyssa Smith do that finally got her fired from the Fever? It wasn't just one thing. If you liked the video, then please give a like to the video and also subscribe to the channel. It was a whole mess of issues. Her declining performance, that laughing incident, the social media drama, it all added up. The team had enough of her antics and decided to cut ties. But wait, there's more. The tension in the locker room was just getting started. Smith's attitude was causing rifts between players, and you could feel the awkwardness every time she stepped on the court. It was like watching a ticking time bomb, just waiting to see when it would all explode. And explode it did. The Fever finally had enough and showed Smith the door. But the fallout? That's a whole other story, and trust me, it gets even crazier from here. Remember that ticking time bomb in the Fever's locker room? Well, Caitlin Clark was the match that lit the fuse. As Clark's star rose, another player's world came crashing down. But the real shocker? It wasn't just about basketball anymore. When Clark joined the team, everything changed for Smith. Suddenly the rookie was putting up insane numbers, breaking records left and right. We're talking about a player who came in and immediately dominated. Clark was scoring, assisting, and grabbing rebounds like she'd been in the league for years. Meanwhile, Smith's playing time dropped faster than a bad stock. She went from being the star to watching from the sidelines. You could see the frustration on her face every time Clark made a big play. And let me tell you, there were a lot of big plays. Here's where it gets messy. Smith started making these weird comments about Clark in interviews. Nothing outright hostile, but you could feel the tension. It was like she was trying to downplay Clark's success without actually saying it. Fans picked up on it fast. They noticed Smith wasn't celebrating Clark's big moments. When Clark would hit a three, the whole bench would go wild except for Smith. She'd just sit there looking like someone stole her lunch money. Then came that eye poke incident. Clark's on the ground in pain, and there's Smith laughing it up with the player who did it. Talk about bad optics. Fans were furious, and rightfully so. It's one thing to be frustrated, but laughing when your teammate's hurt? That's a whole other level of not cool. Social media exploded after that. Smith tried to do damage control, but it was too late. Every post she made just seemed to dig the hole deeper. Fans were calling for her to be traded, benched, or worse. The craziest part? The team was actually winning more games, with Clark leading the charge. But behind the scenes, it was total chaos. You had Clark breaking records and bringing in fans while Smith was stirring up drama and causing headaches for the coaching staff. It all came to a head when Smith posted this cryptic message about fake teammates and real loyalty. She didn't name names, but everyone knew who she was talking about. That was the final straw for the Fever. They had to choose between their former star and their new superstar. And let's be real. With the way Clark was playing, it wasn't much of a choice at all. So, here's the deal with Nalyssa Smith. The Fever had to make a tough call between their former star and their new superstar. But let's be real. Smith's attitude and performance made that choice a no-brainer. She went from being the team's golden girl to their biggest headache faster than you can say benchwarmer. Now the big question on everyone's mind, will any other WNBA team take a chance on Smith after all this drama? It's not looking great, folks. Experts are saying Smith needs to do some serious soul-searching if she wants to stay in the league. She's got to show she can play nice with others and put the team first. If not, she might end up bouncing around teams like a pinball or even heading overseas to keep her career alive. The ball's in Smith's court now. Can she turn things around and become a team player again? Or is this the end of her WNBA journey? Only time will tell. But one thing's for sure. This whole mess is a wild reminder of how quickly things can change in pro sports. 1 minute you're on top. Subscribe to the channel. Thanks you.